Facings are a strip of stabilized fabric typically found in garment sewing. This video will show you an example of how to sew them in. The purpose of facings is to finish and stabilize the edges of the garment like necklines, armholes, and other openings when there is not going to be a lining. First, you'll need to cut out your pieces from your fabric. Make sure to follow your pattern layout instructions for getting the right number of pieces. You also typically cut out matching pieces from interfacing, either fusible or sew-in, depending on your fabric type. Attach your interfacing to the wrong side of all your facing pieces. Interfacing will make the facing pieces stiffer to help stabilize the area they're going to be sewn to. Even for something like a collar, the facing is usually made up of different parts. Consult your directions for sewing your facing pieces together, usually your matching notches. After you sew your seams, make sure to press them open. Next, on the outer curve, which is typically the unnotched side, you want to finish it. You can do this two ways, either do a zigzag or overcast stitch to finish the raw edge, or you can do an edge finish by stitching a 1/4 inch away from the raw edge with a straight stitch, then folding to the wrong side along the stitching and stitch this fold into place. If you're sewing your facing to a curved section like a neckline, make sure your garment has been stay stitched beforehand to keep it from stretching. This means sewing a straight stitch a 1/2 inch away from the raw edge. Now pin your facing to the area of the garment that needs to be finished, right sides together. In my case, I'm doing the neckline. This time you'll be matching the inner curve of the facing piece and usually matching seams, notches, and any marks. Sometimes the notches will want the facing to extend past the garment edge to be finished at a later point. Stitch at the assigned seam allowance. In my case, I'm still doing 5/8 of an inch. If the seam is curved like mine, trim and clip notches of the closed seam allowance, being careful not to cut your stitches. Pull the facing away from the garment so you're looking at the right side of the fabric of both. The closed seam allowance should be beneath the facing piece. Stitch on the facing side close to the seam line, which will attach the seam allowance to the facing. This is called an understitch. Because we did an understitch, it should be easy to now flip the facing to the inside of the garment. Sometimes your instructions will have you do a few tacking hand stitches attaching the facing to the garment seam allowances. This helps keep the facing on the inside. Or it might have you do a top stitch while looking at the right side of the garment. This just means you'll stitch as close to the garment edge as possible. Depending on the garment and facing, your instructions may vary, but these are the basic steps to putting in a facing so you have a finished edge. We hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please subscribe and click the bell icon to get notified of our new releases. Also check out ProfessorPincushion.com to view our complete library with well over 450 sewing tutorials. If you would like to directly support us, you can join our YouTube membership and earn some exclusive perks. Thanks for watching!